Game on, everybody! Group B, whoop whoop, in-house league. So let's go and check this out. Team Zaelia going up against Team Nick today, and it honestly should be an interesting series here. This is also, did I just say Group B? If I did, then I'm high. So I'm talking about Group A here. It's the last match actually out of Group A, and this is the group where we could, in theory, see a three-way tie right now. And that's something that we definitely have to talk about a little bit. But first of all, if you don't know what the in-house league is, I'm sorry to everybody who knows perfectly what we're looking at here. But the question is going to pop up a lot more often. So what's happening here is that the top players of Europe have banded together for an in-house league, since they just all decided that the matchmaking system of Blizzard has been garbage for the last 5 years, and that it's not, it's not going to change anytime soon. So we have the in-house matches that you've probably already seen on my YouTube channel, but now they also started a bit of a league where 6 captains formed 6 different teams that will, for this tournament, stick together, and it's a wild mix. It's really a wild mix, and it's actually a lot of fun. So the teams are named after their captain, and right now in Group A, we actually have Team Hazu, Team Nick, and Team Zaelia going up against each other. And as it happens, Nick's team actually won against Team Hazu with a 3-1. But Team Hazu won with a 3-1 against Zelia's team. So if Zaelia is able to now defeat with his team, Nick's team, with a 3-1, then we have a 3-way tie and we need some kind of decider. So it's actually going to be a really interesting setup here between the two. We're going to jump into the draft in just a second, but just one note, the Sonya ban in particular is actually a targeted ban against Sven, and you will see that a little bit more often. Sonya, generally speaking, is banned these days. Sometimes at least on Infernal Shrines, some other maps too, but there are of course always a couple of players that you have on each team that excel on a specific hero. We've seen a ton of Carrigan bans, for example, against Nick. In this case, Sven is getting targeted because his Sonya is pretty fantastic and is his best hero by far. That has happened in previous matches as well, and is going to continue throughout this tournament, very likely. When it comes to the bans, Zul's still banned out, obviously. The hero, since his rework, has been absolutely insane. Deathwing is a little bit so-so. We've seen him sneak into the drafts, we've seen him completely ignored, and still makes his way into the 3rd ban, or sometimes even the 2nd ban, depending on the map, quite a lot. Now we have Falstad already taken for Team Zaelia, so actually now that we're heading into Dragonshire, they have the opportunity to fly top with Falstad and try to offset the lane a little bit, that 1 versus 1 balance that you have between the offlaners. Now Rhaegar has been banned out, as you would usually expect on Dragonshire, because the hero is by far the best hero for the top lane on Dragonshire. The split between Misha and Rhaegar on Shrine and lane is just too good, and the opponent will always be in a bad spot trying to catch the objective and hold lane experience. We got Zaelia actually on Cara's team, and that's an interesting one because so far he has actually picked Malfurion pretty much every single game where he got the opportunity to do that. We have also on the other side Rhaegar, who's great for this map for wave clear, but also more importantly for the camp clear. So you can go to those siege giants, take them at a reasonable time frame, and do the same thing also on the night camps. Johanna provides a little bit more AoE and wave clear. In goes Chen and Jimmy, and that leads us to our last pick for game number 1. This is a best of 5 series, by the way, so Sven has to pick the offlaner, and now he knows obviously what he's going up against. He knows that he's up against Chen, which isn't really shocking since Quasar has been playing the hero a lot. Chen, of course, has been in the meta for, I mean, nearly a year at this point. I think even a little bit more. Well, roughly. And here we go. Leo is in, so the Skeleton King makes an appearance once again. We're jumping into Dragonshire, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to check this out. Game number 1 between Team Nick and Team Zaelia. Game number 1, Team Zaelia against Team Nick, and on the left side of the map on Dragonshire, we got Masquerade on Tyrael, Hanzo played by Enabler, Rutsu on Falstad, we got Sven on Leoric, and Zaelia on Karazim. And over to the right side of the map, it's Team Nick in red with Kelvin on Rhaegar, Wid on Johanna, Quasar is playing Chen, we got Shirionto on Li Ming, and Nick on Reyna. Okay, let's go, ladies, and see which team takes the lead in the series. At this point, we already have Exterminator as the level 1 talent. An auto attack build, actually, for Rutsu here with his Falstad going into Season Marksman as his first talent. So that's already kind of interesting. I mean, auto attack is still something that you can definitely play. We've seen that quite a bit in the past, of course, but these days it's more so the wingman that most Falstad players focus on. And then they make the decision whether they want to go into more of a lightning rod build or just simply play with the standard boomerang and hammer gains in level 7 and level 4. Here, on the other hand, it's more of an auto attack setup, and against Chen, you will get quite a bit of good damage out if you are diligent about on it. Zaelia is going to be interesting here too. Cara seems super aggressive when it comes to actual support play. And I guess at this point, what could they actually pull off here? I'm still thinking about level 10 and if they could maybe capitalize on the 7-sided strike. There's a couple of options that they have with it. If you entomb into a 7-sided, if you go for an Hanzo arrow and a good stun into a 7-sided, you can do some serious damage. If they really follow that path, that's a different question and one that we have to answer later though. With that said, we have now camps taken, and both of the teams are focusing on their bruiser camps first. At the top lane, the Chen setup against Leo is so far working out. Of course, the one factor that is really important when it comes to this 1 versus 1 is that I highly doubt that the blue team is going to respect it, because Falstad has the ability to fly in and seal the deal if Chen at any point drops low, but Leo won't be able to get the kill himself. So that mobility on the map is something that is actually really good for them. And it's something that should actually come into play at some point in this game. Masquerade is already waiting topside, so he already wants to help out a bit. Quasar sees it, moves away immediately, down to the bottom of the map. Camp is about to be taken. They're still fighting over the shrine, but this is a nice sneak that we see from Nick and his boys here. Yeah, moving in, taking the second camp, but all of a sudden they have a double camp pushing, and they have full control over the bot lane, and that's something that Enabler and Zaelia alone won't be able to stop. That wall will fall if nobody else helps out. And instead of another blue team player coming in, we have now Wit arriving too. Rootsu comes in on his false stat. Top lane gets pressured a bit against Chen, but the aggression at the bottom of the map should yield a lot more. Over here, it's only a bruiser camp and 2 heroes that are pushing. The wall will fall too, but this down at the bottom of the map is going to result in a fort being eliminated. And that's just something that the top lane won't be able to pull off here. It's a really, really nice push and a great setup from Team Nick. Fantastic rotation down to the bottom. They were not in any way pressured as they were trying to go for the bruiser camp and could then capitalize on it. Rutsu still trying, of course, to get his stacks together, as 5 so far on his level 1. Will go into Boomerang on level 7 so that he can capitalize on his global talent a little bit more and also farm these lanes a bit faster for his level 1 talent and the auto attacks. Yeah, in the meantime, we have both of the shrines active for Team Nick, so there could even be a Dragon Knight that they lock in now. At least gonna try. Leo at the top is trying to prevent it. Quasar is contesting this entire thing. Everybody else is rotating. At the bottom of the map, a 1v1 as Hanzo goes up against Li Ming. Karazim is now moving in too, so they're apparently trying to push her back. But this could be a sneak. Masquerade interrupts it once, and finally the shrine at the bottom of the map gets taken. Shirionto is a little bit low. Level 7 talent now, as expected. Boomerang is in, so is Calamity. Ooh, beautiful flank. Hanzo couldn't flip over the wall. And now we have a double kill to kick the kill count off in game number 1. Well done. Team Nick is doing a fantastic job in the early stages here. So far, they are leading in Group A. And if they take the victory here, they would finish the group as first slot. So that would actually be fantastic for them. First seed in the group would be great. And yeah, oh, by the way, all of the teams make it into... Leo down, top side. All of the teams make it into the playoffs, but it's a seeding question of what's going to happen here. So that's going to be highly important. Do you have the chance through the winner bracket to lose one map? Can you allow yourself to make a mistake at some point? Do you have that second path or don't you? That's pretty much the question that we have to answer here. And as you can tell now, with 3 kills against 0 and a level lead, Team Nick is doing fantastic in the early stages. Still with the attempt to get a Dragon Knight. So far they haven't been successful. But they're definitely starting to push this a little bit further, and since they are also looking at an earlier level 10, that's pretty good too. Fight down here at the bottom. Jimmy actually made it behind the wall, but gets still eliminated. So now it's only Johanna that's still surviving here. Down at the bottom of the map, the fight over the shrine is still continuing though. Middle of the map, a little bit of aggression against Wit, who's going to be able to move out. Top side, the Panda and the Skeleton are still fighting in their 1 versus 1 setup. But now that the blue team is holding 2 of the shrines, they might get this Dragon Knight. And actually they will, just before level 10 hits. What a perfect timing here from Team Zaelia. They lost 3 heroes so far. They got 1 single counter kill. But at this point, they are looking absolutely fantastic with this. Push in the middle. Nick is trying to stop it. In the meantime, Falset actually gets the kill against Li Ming. The level 10 abilities are now in for both. And as we now see in this current patch, Bloodlust once more. Yeah, we've seen exclusively Bloodlust ever since the last patch came through. So Rhaegar right now is again trying to empower, specifically, of course, Jimmy, who currently gets a bit of an ass kicking and gets pushed out here right away. Gets punted to the other side of the fort. 16 stacks now for Falstad. A bit of an attack at the top side, by the way, so Dequaza needs to be careful as we have another hero moving in to try and take him down. Shouldn't really be a big problem for him, but how deep are they going to go for this? Sven is thinking about it. 7-sided, and they're going to get the panda. Here we go. Zaelia, once again, aggressive in his support play, and he is delivering for them. Well, with that 7-sided setup, we already have now 3 kills against 3, and all of a sudden the game is flipping. We started with a nice and secure lead for Team Nick, and now the situation has changed rapidly. We have the wall taken apart in the mid lane thanks to the early Dragonite, and also the same kill count, as all of a sudden we have more camps on the map for Team Zaelia. They're trying to go down to the bottom of the map to take the Bruiser camp. They already took the Siege Giants. Top right, we have another camp taken, this time by the red team. But the push through the bottom of the map could actually be a pretty difficult one to stop. Because if this camp is timed well with the Siege Giants here and is now coming through, they have a chance to even respond in kind to the earlier pressure and maybe eliminate the fort here. So that could definitely happen. We need to keep the Siege Giants alive a bit longer. But in comes Wit, and not only him, the Panda is underway too. And there's the old triple Panda on the way. Blessed shield on Hanzo, and he gets wrecked again. There's the Bloodlust and the immediate go for the chicken. Yep, they're lusting for blood and they take the chicken apart. So the chicken is down, 7-sided strike. Nick moves in immediately. This is actually one of those things that a lot of players on the lower level still do wrong. If someone gets a 7-sided off, you don't necessarily have to move out of the 7-sided. What you can also do, depending on the situation and which area it's used in, you can move into the 7-sided, and if you have multiple targets in the 7-sided, the damage gets split, and then you will likely not lose a hero. That's exactly what Nick did at the bottom. He saw Rhaegar was completely trapped, so he moved in as well. The damage got split between the two of them, and they could take Karazim down without any problem afterwards. So, nicely done. With 6 kills against 3 and level 13 talents on the board, we now have also another opportunity for Dragonite, this time for the red team, and Team Nick is already moving straight up into the middle of the map, trying to make their play over here on the left side, and Avail and his boys trying to get another Bruiser camp. Wit, nearly done with it. Masquerade, can he get another interrupt? No, he cannot. The Dragonite is in. Bottom of the map, the bird nearly getting taken down by Shirionto, but is able to dodge out all of the damage. The combo not hitting. 7-sided against the Dragonite, as they're already trying to zone here as well. And it's all about the Dragon's Breath at this point, as much as you possibly can. Okay. Let's have a little bit of a look over here. Nick is starting to attack quickly. Damage output, we haven't actually looked at it in quite some time. 21,000 for Jimmy. We have 13,000 for Hanzo. Blue team is definitely a little bit behind when it comes to the hero damage. That's definitely true. It's not only Nick on his Reina that is doing quite well, but also the Panda in this one-on-one setup at the top has done a lot better than I expected. I expected Sven with Leo to have more damage than Chen for sure, simply because of the drain, but it seems like Dequaza dodged out on quite a few of them for the duration he goes through. There's the Entombed, and trying to get the damage in. Blessed shield has been thrown out as well. There's the Bloodlust and the immediate gust, but Jimmy is already down. The bird and Hanslo have also fallen, and now Team Zaelia is again on the run. Sven is in trouble. He's about to go down too. Skeleton King is once again eliminated, and Zaelia at least makes it out. And the Gust is of course another great tool that can be used against the Bloodlust setup around Rhaegar. Not only that, but you also have Sanctification together with it, so if those abilities are timed well after Bloodlust gets used, then you can pretty much negate your opponent's heroic ability. But yeah, if you're of course on the retreat and someone uses Bloodlust and they chase you down, then well, the best Sanctification in the world usually doesn't really do a whole lot for you. 7-sided, Cam gets taken. And, well, here we go. By now it's 9 kills against 4. Level 16 is on the board. That gave us the paint him red for Jimmy, more survivability. The synergy of Rhaegar has now also been reached with his level 1 and his level 16 talent. So we're currently looking at Colossal Totem together with the Earthgrass Totem. Old school. Top side, bit of damage against the fort. Nobody moving in. Instead, we have another fight down here at the bottom. Yeah, Blessed Shield got already YOLO'd out. And Wit is keeping the boys alive. They have one camp pushing through the bottom of the map. Top forward, as I said, has taken already a bit of damage. Falstad is now starting to move top side. He's by now on 25 stacks for his level 1, so he still needs another 15 until he is gonna have his activatable ready. But they have level 60. And that's actually quite important, because they were still waiting for that to kick in, and taking fights before that doesn't really help them a whole lot. Masquerade, alright, jumps in. Has to be careful there, but is able to move out. Did not go into holy ground. Instead, we have him, as you probably already realized, with the Sword of Justice as his level 13. Yeah, 7-sided. Great setup. Oh, but the kill against Hanzo. Nicely done. Li Ming with the damage and the reset. Zaelia goes in and takes her down, but it comes at a cost. 3 heroes have fallen in the meantime. Now we have a big push through the bottom of the map. 12 kills against 5. Top side is getting pressured by another bruiser camp. They are really painting the map red right now. And Chen has now moved towards the top shrine in the attempt. Oh, they get another kill even. In this case, it's actually a kill against Johanna. Jojo got taken out. That was a little bit unexpected. Well done by Tyrael here. Yeah, so they prevent the Dragonite. I was just about to say, with Chen moving topside, there's a good chance that they get the Dragonite, but that kill has kind of reset that opportunity again. Jimmy's moving in, still trying to make it happen. The fight is still going. Leo is already there. In comes Tyrael, trying to interrupt again. Leo, in the meantime, is defending the top against the big push that we've been talking about earlier, but the Quasar locks it in. Dragonite is taken. And let's see. They're all starting to move towards the top now, trying to take the forts down. I expected them, honestly, to go for one of the keeps. 12 kills against 6. They're pretty heavily ahead in experience, still by an entire level. But the Dragonite is taking a beating. Holy shit. That Dragonite is not going to do anything. Damn, down to 35% already. It was a good defense. I mean, Johanna wasn't here, so she couldn't really be part of the push, which is probably why they decided to try and go for the fort instead of going for keep instead. But yeah, that one didn't do anything. Okay, so let's have a look at the damage output. Again, 33 stacks, by the way, now for Falstad. 27,000 hero damage for Tyrael. Hanzo is dead. The gust not as successful as the bird was hoping for. Rutsu still alive, though. And 21,000 damage for Karazim. Yeah, Tyrael and Karazim both have more damage than Hanzo and or Falstad. Falstad actually in this case is the lowest, has the lowest hero damage in the game. I mean, he offers, of course, a lot of utility, but right now that didn't do a lot. A Dragonite is going to be active for another 5 seconds. With Hanzo dead, they have a chance to push just a little bit, maybe break the wall, which is exactly what they do. But it's got to become a bit of an awkward situation for Team Zaelia, especially since Team Nick now has also their level 20 talents. Yeah, Gladiator's washout is being used, and with that they're now making the play for the keep. And all of this happens before Hanzo pokes up back on the map. So that is an easy one. Radiating Faith is in. We have the weak spot acquired for Jimmy, and the Triple Panda upgrade for Chen now too. Yeah, Nick's team, they are playing a pretty solid setup. They played fantastic against Team Haza. It was a close series, but they were able to win it. And now they're also doing a fantastic job in game number 1 against Team Zaelia. There were a couple of moments where the blue team looked like they could maybe bring it back. And the game isn't over yet. But here comes the ult on Chen, since he needed to dodge out on the 7-sided. And talking 7-sided, yeah, Zaelia is dead. Karazim gets eliminated. Masquerade is starting to jump out again. Wit currently getting drained from Sven. Falstad is still at the bottom of the map, trying to complete his level 1 quest. But another kill against Hanzo. Yeah, Hanzo didn't really have a good game so far. You look over to Hanzo and he died 6 times. 6 times did they take him apart. The only one who didn't die yet on the blue team is actually Tyrael. So he's the only one who has survived through every single encounter here. Masquerade is beasting it at the front line. Whereas Rhaegar for Team Nick is currently holding the only hero with 0 deaths. Camps are, of course, still up. Falstad is still pushing through the bottom of the map a little bit further, trying to at least take... I mean, not really take down the fort, but put some damage on it. Maybe open up an opportunity for later on in the game. And here's the one thing that we still have to also highlight. It's 20 versus 20 now. So the bottom keep has been annihilated, but outside of that, I mean, that's pretty much it. So now you play 20 versus 20 as soon as Hanzo is back. Hanzo might actually have to go into play of the game if he wants to join into a fight over here. Which he actually didn't do. Bullseye instead. Leo is trying to take the top shrine so that there's no additional Dragon Knight. Because at this point a Dragon Knight would very likely mean game. But this is an opportunity where you can still win a 5 versus 5. Zelia's team has taken a beating, I'm not gonna lie. It's 15 kills against 6, so it's pretty... I mean, it's pretty one-sided when it comes to the kill count. But there is still a chance. They now have Buried Alive, and a good Buried Alive in an isolation with the Mighty Gus, plus the follow-up with 7-sided and Sanctification can easily net you 2-3 kills. And that would be a great opportunity if they can make that somehow happen and they have some momentum going for them. Falstad by now has actually snuck past to take this one. They're still trying to deny the Dragon Knight. In the meantime, Hanzo gets out. Enabler is able to get out this time, and the arrow gets completely blocked by Wit and is unstoppable. Yeah, that didn't do anything. Okay. They're trying to go for Masquerade right now. The Panda is here too. Falstad still trying to protect the bot lane, as it seems. He has 41 stacks now. Of course, stacking continues, but the quest is completed, so it has his activatable now. Sven... Ooh, yeah, that's a kill. Sven is dead, and that's a problem. Now, Leo is obviously, if you lose someone, the one that you want to have die. But... yeah... if anybody dies, then it should be him. Still, Enabler is getting attacked again. Dequaza wants him. And... oh, the Sanctification to keep him alive. Yeah, I guess they have to throw it out there. Falstad has flown towards the top to play around the game of chicken again. Where you just like try to run around your opponent. Good repulsion. Masquerade gets out. Enabler in trouble again. This time they don't have the Sanctification to save his ass. And he goes down once more. There's the Bloodlust, the Gladiators washout. And they go straight up for the core. Team Nick going for that victory in game number 1 here on Dragonshire in the in-house league. Nicely done thus far, and this is the 1-0 for the red team in this best of 5. GG and well played as Team Nick locks in the W on Dragonshire. Game number 2. Nick and his boys are already in the lead, so it's actually a fantastic setup for them. Yeah, what pretty much has to happen to make this a 3-way tie is Zaelia and his team now winning 3 in a row. And it's going to be difficult. It's pretty much a reverse sweep that we have to pull off with the 3 victories in a row. Jimmy gets banned this time. The good thing for Team Nick is if they actually win one more map, they are already number 1 in the group, and the group is set. So all we gotta do here is win 2 maps, and then we already have our group secured. I would assume that they still play out the entire match, that they play the entire best of 5. But there's always a chance that at some point the admins and the players are saying, listen, group is decided anyways, let's skip it right there. So just that you're already aware of it. But now that we're heading into Sky Temple, our second map, we have Jimmy banned, we have also Sergeant Hammer banned. So both of the auto attackers, or 2 of the auto attackers are off, but you can already tell that the Zul ban still comes through, so does the ban against Sonya. Sven is just getting eliminated right away when it comes to all of that. Abathar! Oh, okay. It's becoming a little bit spicy. I kinda like that a lot right now. This is actually... yeah, this is actually a little bit of an X-Factor pick that they have now. So that allows you to get a lot of shenanigans. I mean, Abathar in the setup that they had the last game, just think about it. Charism is so much better with him. If you get an auto attacker, that's fantastic for them, especially on the melee side. You can play Zeratul with this setup. You can even play some Muro if you just want to go for structures. There's a lot of options that they have now. but we see Nick locking in Zarya for his team, and Zarya has of course taken an absolute premium position within the meta on so many maps when you're trying to particularly push a 4-man lane. One lane with a 4-man, you have another off-laner rotating between two, and that's pretty much what happens right there. Greymane and Garrosh are getting picked. Kind of terrifying. If you have the double Greymane coming at you, that is problematic, and well, Greymane with the symbiote is obviously also quite scary. They still need a support for Zaelia, and I wouldn't be shocked to see once again Kharazim, because first of all, Kharazim with Abathar symbiote is great, and in addition to that, if you have a Garrosh flip into the backline and then a 7-sided strike as a follow-up, you can net yourself easy kills there too. So that is an option. There's obviously other supports. If he wants to go into his Malfurion again, he can do that now too. But in we go. Lucio gets banned. Lucio gets banned because the red team doesn't want to risk that all of a sudden. First of all, Lucio with Abathar is also super annoying because he can chase you down throughout the entire map. He has the speed, Abathar has the damage, and those two combined can be annoying as hell. Another problem is... Nice! Vikings! Another problem with the Lucio setup is that if Lucio enables Greymane to go onto lanes, then together with Abathar, they can simply just take down those walls super easily, and that's one of the things why you want to avoid that a little bit. And now we get even Illidan. Sven on Illidan. So Abathar Illidan, bit old school. The Vikings are in. Again, Zarya is going to play in a strong format. And as I said, you want to have an offlaner here. In this case, we actually have frontline Uther. They're going full NA now on this one. A little bit of a meme dream coming through now as we're heading into game number 2. Should be a fun one. That is actually going to be a real fun one. The Vikings and main tank Uther. So we've kind of gone full NA at this point. Sky Tap, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 2 between Team Nick and Team Zaelia. Game number 2, let's go. That's a wild one. Wild combos on both sides. First of all, Team Zaelia has gone super aggressive for this game with Rutsu on Greymane, Sven on Illidan. 2 targets for Enabler, who with his Abathar is going to try and get the symbiote in, plus also the copy after level 10. Zaelia is playing Malfurion, and we have Masquerade on Garrosh. And over to the right side of the map, Kelvin on Rhaegar, Wit on Lost Vikings, we have Nick on Zarya, Shirionto on Vala, and Dequaza on the tank Uther setup here. Yeah, Malfurion, again, was of course the other big option for them. Zaelia loves to play as Malfurion here, has shown his skills on that in the first series that they played against Team Hazu. But of course, with this lineup, Kharazim would have been possible too. A flip into a 7-sided, plus also Kharazim with a symbiote would be very good here as well. So, at this point, level 1 talent, you seem to be going into a Balog build here. Explosive attacks on level 1 for him. Personally, I kind of like that. You have a lot of push power with it. 4-man at the bottom of the map. This is exactly what I said in the draft. If you are playing with Zarya, what you're trying to do is you try to have a very strong 4-man that can just siege up, and then you have another hero that soaks the remaining lanes. And this is pretty much what we're seeing currently. So instead of playing a proper tank together with it, what they instead did is put Uther in, who in the North American scene has acted as a tank quite a bit for a long time. With mixed results, but still they like to do it. And if you can play that 4-man with, so to say, 2 supports and one of them having some CC available to him, plus Zarya, then you have a lot of push power there. The problem that they currently have is that Illidan is having a pretty easy time at the top because the 2 Vikings just don't have the damage output that they need in order to lock him down here. So Sven has already done more damage to this wall than they could do down at the bottom. So pretty solid from him, especially with the help of Abathar, of course. A little bit of a poke over here, and they actually steal it. So Masquerade moves in, they steal the camp, and Team Zaelia is playing super aggressive. They took both of the Siege Giants. They have at the top, Illidan gets the stun. Can they maybe even take him down? Not so sure about this. Vala at the bottom of the map, on the other hand, has now died. So Vala is down, Illidan survives. Yeah, and things are looking actually pretty decent for Team Zaelia at the beginning of the game. Now, that doesn't say a whole lot. I mean, we still have to wait how this all pans out. But for now, they're doing fairly well. Off we go with the Adrenal Overlord on level 4. Okay, level 7 is going to be interesting. Mule on this map is incredibly strong. If you want to go for the full-on damage, you would go into Needle Spine here. But I expect Mule, since, of course, thanks to those temples, you want to be able to soak a few more shots. Multi-shot build for Vala. No surprise here. And Eric the Swift has now been claimed on level 4 for Team Nick. And now they have to face the music topside. They have their own camp taken, so that's already coming in. Down to the bottom of the map, we have Balog positioned. He is the one with all the splash, so he can clear those waves the easiest outside of the spin to win. Olaf, on the other hand, has been eliminated now by Garrosh. Going for the Viking hunt. Sven with the Fan of Foe is able to make it out. That multi-shot didn't connect. And over here the defense is still ongoing, but one tower is down and the gate nearly eliminated. Yeah, so far so good. Garrosh still sitting in the middle of the map. Avatar has in the meantime now rotated down to the bot lane. Is dealing with all of this. The temples are active too. And up towards the top. This is where we have our little setup around the shrines, the temples. But the rotation is there. Top gets abandoned and they're going for the middle instead. Getting some serious damage in against the wall already. Zaelia is trying to jump in. Did not go broccoli, by the way. Instead we have him with the strangling vines over here. So that can be nice against Rhaegar if he goes for Ancestral. But again, we've seen mainly Bloodlust here. Given the fact that they have two supports on the other hand, that is going to help you a bit if both of them are trying to just burst heal someone that is getting pressured. And maybe even locked down by someone like Garrosh. So there's that. So with this now, we have still at the top. Wit actually trying to get some shots fired here. Rutsu is not going to have any trouble with that at all. Eric is now moving in as well. But that's a little bit too much for Greymane to handle because now Uther is rotating over too. Down to the bottom of the map. Another Viking is already falling. 7.5 and 7.5. So experience is even right now. Eric gets killed. Oh, didn't have the... Wow. Apparently didn't have the root available. Or he just didn't use it, but that was a chance for sure. A bit of pressure in the middle after the temple shots have been soaked. Bottom of the map with the Abathur support. We're seeing Illidan do his thing again. Does some serious damage to Olaf, but needs to retreat because there is a rotation headed his way. And the team has obviously announced it already and said, like, dude, be careful. There's something coming your way. A single kill so far in this game. It has obviously a big macro... it's a bit of a macro game now because of the Vikings. Illidan could go into the hunt to get at least the pseudo-global over here. Fight already continuing. We have, by the way, also the Norse force right now, which is interesting as well. Don't really see that too much, but it is already indicating that they might try to team fight a little bit more with the Vikings than later on. Over here towards the top, Wit still has two of the Vikings in position to push the top lane out. Eric is moving towards the middle. And down at the bottom of the map, the real fight actually starts up with another flip, this time against Zarya. But instead, Masquerade is in trouble. Sven comes in too, wants to help out, needs to be careful. The stun is connected, and Sven is dead. Illidan is down. And, well, in the meantime, we have level 10 abilities picked up by the red team, and they go full aggression here. First of all, we have Bloodlust in, and we're also now seeing the Divine Storm as really good control for the boss as well. And talking about bosses, they're going for it immediately. Illidan is about to come back. They need their level 20, sorry, their level 10 though, and they just don't have it. Without level 10, that fight is going to be an absolute disaster. Here's, ooh, boss stun even coming in. Alright, 10 versus 10 right now. Do they have a chance? That boss is taken. They stole it away. They fucking stole it and they get a double kill. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? What? They actually steal the boss before they get their level 10. Before they get it. Zarya even using the expulsion zone and kind of screwing it up. And then level 10 kicks in for Team Zaelia and they take an easy triple kill. What the hell? The throw is real. Oh my god. 3 kills against 1 all of a sudden. Illidan is funning around with the Viking at the bottom of the map. The rest of the team is starting to go ham on the bottom lane. And the Vikings are still pushing wherever they can. Unbelievable. That was an incredible blunder over there of Team Nick. I mean, they used the Rhaegar ult early because they wanted to make sure that they can burn the boss down before level 10 was reached by Team Zaelia. And honestly, it was the right decision. But then they don't stay on the point. The attempt to just zone them out with the expulsion zone didn't work as they planned. And they lose boss And then level 10 kicks in for Team Zaelia, and they just jump onto Rhaegar, jump onto Uther. Both of the supports fall right away, and I can't believe that happened. Unending Hatred on level 1 is nearly completed for Illidan. Of course, it will stack even after the completion of the reward. But still, Olaf down, camp taken, top lane getting attacked. 4 kills against 1. And now with 1 eliminated, I mean, this game got spicy all of a sudden. Up to that point, I really thought the Team Nick would be able to make this incredibly annoying for their opponent. But Team Zaelia, they're doing their job right now. Zaelia himself is now moving into the middle of the map, riding the money pick. By the way, guys, Zaelia, money pick. Whoopi, money pick. Like, most of the best players in their role, main money pick, ride the money pick. Coincidence? I don't think so. There is an inherent advantage if you're riding into battle in style. So there's one mount, and it's called the money pick. Everything else are just cheap imitations. But yeah, bot lane has to be soaked. Wit is in. He's doing his job here. Meantime, top side has to be dealt with. I mean, again, not really big problem. Only a few of those mercenaries are still remaining. Level 13 talents are ready for both. Another camp gets stolen. Avatar is also a few nests over there. Has actually on 13 now gone into the spatial efficiency. Okay, the additional charge and the cooldown reduction. That's going to be some extra damage for him for sure. No Soma transference through that. Yeah, Uther is dead. Bot lane, heavy pressure. I mean, bot lane is in trouble because it's not only... Look at the setup. Like, holy shit. 4 siege giants, 2 catapults. They have to send everybody down, which means that the top and the mid lane are exposed, and Team Zaelia is capitalizing on that right away. Right away. Coming in, taking it down. Top side, that's where Sven is already starting to go for even more Vikings. They try to get the temple, and with the temple, they will obliterate the fort immediately. And thanks to them grabbing 2, or at least a couple of shots on both, they are going to get additional damage in. Yeah, it's rough, really. There's not a single fort left for Team Nick. And what initially looked like a decent setup is all of a sudden starting to become a liability. 22,000 damage. Oh, Sven even using the metamorphosis to get out of this. Yeah, Vala, 22,000 damage for her. Down goes what's his face? Professor Eric. Yeah, Eric goes down. Not swift enough in this case. 6 kills against 1. Shots are being fired. Olaf is coming in again. But if they get the entire remaining shots, this is going to be keep bot side. This is a bot side keep that falls here. That's actually rough. I mean, again, the top temple grabbing that allowed... No way. Oh, clutch. Okay, so it doesn't go down completely. Thankfully for the blue team, there is no mule on the other side. Level 13, of course, always also nice for extra wave clear. Hunker burning Olaf. Top side fort and mid fort have been eliminated both, but there is the talent advantage now for the blue team. And they obviously want to get the bottom keep. I mean, it's so low, and they would love to have the fight here too. They try to go for Uther. Okay, that didn't quite work. We have the adrenaline boost. That's great. I mean, adrenaline boost pretty much solves the same purpose that you get with the speed barrier from Zarya. You can just empower Garrosh to walk in and flip someone over. Obviously, the big difference between the talents is also that one hits at 4, the other one hits at level 16. There's the keep finally down, even committed to the Avatar copy in order to make that happen. Fight might not be over yet, though. There's level 16 now on both sides. And look at this. The marathon is in. What the fuck? Yeah, the Vikings, completely different setup. The level 7, the level 16, even the 13, not really all that common. But the fight turns against Team Nick, and they lose Uther pretty much right away. Vala is also low, but gets healed by the Uther Ghost. Are they really going for a core here? Damn, seems like they do. Illidan by now is at 51 extra damage on his auto attacks. Might be a little bit premature. Illidan is already in trouble, but the shields are falling. Uther isn't here for the stun. And they have not only Illidan, they have also Greymane. Metamorphosis jumping in again. Core down to 40%. They're fighting around it. Illidan is hopping off once more. Greymane is rotating around too, and that's game. That's game. Team Zaelia making it happen 1-1 after the second game here on Sky Temple in the best of 5 series. Game number 3, let's go. A 1-1, which actually keeps the dream alive that we have a 3-way tie here. Would give us a bit more content, more games. Now, Team Nick had a great start into the second map, Sky Temple. And then the unfortunate decision on the players around the boss, yeah, kind of lost them the game, I would say. They were a little bit ahead, looked good at the early level 10, tried to go for the boss, looked good as well when they popped the Ancestral and the Bloodlust. Yeah, and then it backfired. All of a sudden it gets stolen away and they're getting screwed. Lose the boss, lose the momentum, and play from behind, and it didn't go well. So now that we're heading into our third game with an even score between the two teams, we have over here our bans again. Zul and ETC are banned out. Sven, again, does not get his hands on Sonya. She got banned away too. And we have the ban against Sarge and Hammer, which actually leaves Jimmy up, so could even be a first pick for his Exterminator skills here. There's quite a lot of heroes that you want to take in a first pick position on this map, or that are potential first pick. We've seen a lot of Li Ming taken early on. Jimmy, a great hero, of course. Vala, fantastic, but usually not taken as a first pick choice. Sometimes you see an Ana pick just so you can play around the nano boost. Already we have Rhaegar claimed by Shirionto, so it seems like we're going to see the Exterminator value once again. And let's see how Team Zaelia actually reacts for this one. There's the Li Ming and the Vala. Ooh, both of them right away. So the damage is already secured over there. I'd say that this is either an Ana pick or ban from Team Nick's side. Oh, and they have Zarya and Garrosh. Yeah, this is also the map where we've seen this combo for the first time in the high-level play. Back in the days, roughly, I would say 1.5 years ago or something like that. From Granite Gaming, Lauber's fan club. And they did incredibly well with it. I mean, it was insane. So yeah, so now that you have Vala and Li Ming on the other side, you know that you are definitely gonna have to raise those Immortals quickly. And Jimmy, of course, can do a whole lot of work with all of that, since he has his level 1 talent Exterminator. And after the buff, it's just incredible. Rhaegar gets banned now too, so no Bloodlust available for Team Nick, as Zaelia is obviously trying to go a different path here. There's a couple of choices. Again, I could see an Ana ban so that there's no nano boosted Li Ming. That's one option. But there's a few more that they have. The Malfurion setup would still be strong, and at the same time, of course, you can on this map also go into Cara if he wants to play that style again. There's the Ana ban. Doesn't really come as a surprise. Nano boost on Li Ming is super strong. Reset mechanic is a little bit too powerful if you have a good Li Ming player, and he gets a nano boost over there too. And let's see what else we're going to get now from Team Zaelia. What's the support? Because at this point, you want to pick the support. Malfurion it is. And since on the other side there's no support yet either, they have to fall back on the remaining options. I mean, these days we have enough. We've seen some, I mean, even some Anduin play, for example. Okay, Blaze gets also locked in. That already gives us, first of all, stun. Gives us also some decent wave clear. And the sustainability through bunker after level 10. Also kind of nice. Could also see, by the way, with the setup that they have a Stukov. Yeah, there he is. Stukov gets taken. And Deathwing with a chicken skin. Why? Don't turn the dragon into a chicken. Don't take that tint. It's horrible. But yeah, Stukov is in. So a throw into Stukov's silence would be great. After level 13, even better with a virulent reaction. Yeah, Mr. Coronavirus over here can now start to do a little bit of work. Again, rumor has it that Mr. Coronavirus will also be Kalthas because the living bomb spread, you know, if you don't practice social distancing against Kalthas, you're gonna have some problems. But as we're heading into our last pick, we actually see a Nubarak taken. Masquerade goes for a Nubarak, so let's see if they can follow up on this. That's a good stun setup with Malfurion roots afterwards, and then they can jump in with Li Ming and Vala and try and claim the target. Game number 3, let's see who takes the lead over here, ladies and gentlemen, on Battlefield of Eternity. Game number 3, Battlefield of Eternity. On the left, Sven on Blaze, Zaelia on Malfurion. We got Enabler on Vala, Rutsu on Li Ming, Masquerade on Nubarak. And towards the right side, Team Nick with Kelvin on Stukov. We got Nick himself on Zarya, Shirionto on Rhaegar, Wit on Garrosh, and Dayquaza is playing Deathwing. Alright, feel the heat. Has been taken. In addition to that, we now also have Exterminator, and everybody seems to make a rotation towards the top side first with that 4-man setup that they have here. Deathwing the one to hold the bottom of the map, so they're trying to barrel through this and take maybe an initial tower over here. Yeah, it's a little bit of a trap. Garrosh, the flip, the stun, the body blocks, and that's a kill. Sven. 17 hit points! Oh my god! 17 hit points on Blaze. Alright, so much for that's a kill. Yeah, they're trying to follow it up with one against Masquerades in Uberak, but damn. He gets the grenade straight up to the face and survives through it with 17 HP. Wow. I mean, seriously, wow. So, since this kind of failed a little bit, it was still a rotation forced, but that was actually incredible. Absolutely incredible. Anyways, for now, 0 kills, but of course the dynamic has changed a little bit. All of a sudden the bot lane has been transformed into the one-on-one lane. Talents, level 1, arrow build for Vala. Again, on this map, you always want to go for it, so you have the immortal damage after your level 4 and level 7 in particular. And let's have a look at the level 1 talent. We have the Dragon Soul now for Deathwing. It's a crime. It's honestly a crime. This tint on the dragon is, in my opinion, an insta-report right there. Blizzard should really include a report for bad taste in their report system. I mean, the report system is already useless as is, but if you're already going for a useless system, a report for bad taste is something that I think needs to be put in. If you take that tint, that's an insta report right there. There's certain skins that if you claim them on certain mounts, you get one too. It's honestly, it's offensive. It really offends me to say such an ugly skin in the game. And yeah, I'm a little bit triggered. It's a microaggression against people with taste, and it is offensive against people with common sense. So Blizzard really needs to support these minorities a little bit more. People with common sense are a dying breed, and we are heavily attacked in today's society, so Blizzard needs to change something here, and I feel we should start a quit hashtag or something, but that report needs to be a thing. Okay, so either way, 4 against 4 on the level count, therefore also the talents in, Triumph for it as usual, on well, not really usual, I mean, again, you can play all talents over here, but it is pretty much the standard these days that you go for the orb talent on level 4. Dominance depending on the map, but of course, ages ago the talent got nerfed, and since then other options have become more viable. Also engage build for Nubarak with his Under King already on level 4. Level 7 Calamity will come into soon TM. At the same time, oh, careful Zaelia! What a flip and setup by Wit. Yeah, well done. Garrosh came in and did the work, and now we have the halftime show. Won by the red team. Vala alone just couldn't do enough there. She has only a single stack on her level 4 quest, so it's not really as much of a damage output against the Immortal as you really would want to have. Once that the quest is done and you have level 7, that's a different story, but for the time being, Rhaegar just out-damages all of that easily. So here we have it. Immortal is taken, and that is the lead for Team Nick. As I mentioned before, if the red team takes a second map win, they win the group. Then the group is decided right away. And that can then also, I mean, again, it could theoretically lead to them just abandoning the series because the entire group would be set up by this. I don't think it's going to happen. They're probably going to play it out anyways, even if it's just for the memes. But there's always that chance. Now, as we're jumping in, we have the entire wall already broken through. And that could result in the fort falling. That's a good flip. Zaelia again the target. And both go down. Garrosh and the support. But not having a support player in that situation is a bit of a problem if you're trying to stop your opponent. So good luck with that. Deathwing comes in. Sven is down. Sven gets wrecked. Yeah, and Rutsu is also dying. Oh my god. Yeah, 4 kills against 1, and the fort is eliminated. What a lead in this game. I mean, thankfully for Team Nick, there is no boss here, so, you know, they can't make the same mistake they did on the last map. But yeah, if Nick's team actually wins the series or just takes a second map win, they would be the #1 in Group A. Team Hazu would take the #2 spot, and Team Zaelia would be 3rd seed in Group A. Each group has only 3 teams. As I mentioned at the beginning of the match, already at the top, they're working to get another cam, set themselves a little bit farther up now. And that's exactly what we're currently doing here. Over here, the camp is taken, and off we go. There's the jump. Blaze is alone at the bottom of the map. Deathwing is walking slowly down to the bottom of the map. Yeah, Salty Wing right there. Moving down to the bot lane is like, alright, I don't want to play with you guys anymore. You really need to go bot side. I want to be part of the team fight, and everybody's like, go! Just go! Half a level until level 10. Skyfall is in on level 7. And Deathwing is already working on the camp at the bottom of the map. Okay, the chicken is active. And here we go. Back into the KFC basket. Top side. Still a little bit of a push, but here comes level 10. And that's pretty much a free Immortal. They're so far ahead right now. It's actually pretty amazing. I mean, this is great. Look at this timing. It's like level 9 just barely reached and they have level 10. The timing couldn't be more perfect. I mean, that's a freebie. That's about as free as an Immortal as you ever gonna get. I mean, it doesn't get better than this. Level 10 abilities are in. Yeah, for now, we got the chicken with Burn Beneath My Shadow. Halftime show has already been won. If anything, it surprises me that Team Zaelia was able to do a bit more damage to Team Nick's Immortal than I thought. But yeah, now in Uberak, silenced, taunted, and dead it. The Exterminators are in the house, and the Beetle is eliminated. Okay, 5 kills against 1, level 10, and a big boy Immortal now for Team Nick. Yeah, nicely done. Really well done here. So with that, we have them now moving towards the top, starting to make their play here as well against this little setup. Well, first of all, take this down. The setup over here is going to try for the defense. Level 10 abilities should be ready as this happens. So the red team is going to try the power of the Immortal and their own 5-man against the setup of Team Zaelia, who are going to attempt to defend against this. If not the fort, then at least the keep. The fort is going to fall. That's given. But they should be able to defend at least the keep. Unless they lose more heroes. Okay, already. Wit coming in with a bit of a stun. 14 stacks by now on Vala. Uh-oh, uh-oh, the chicken wing flank. There we go. Alright. Deathwing, a little bit bored apparently, is only going for a bit of a better view apparently. Yeah. The jump. Wall. About to fall. Yeah, that Immortal's actually doing a whole lot of work. It's an early Immortal. We're not even 10 minutes in, but they do tons of damage with it. And they grab Vala, get the kill, and that could well be keep after all. Chicken Wing goes in deep, and off we go. By the way, how silly is it that Deathwing can hide in a fucking bush? Have you ever seen a dragon hiding in a bush? Like, seriously? Deathwing could just hide over here and nobody saw him? Are you joking? Like, how is that working? Absolutely insane. I talked about this already a few weeks ago, but every single time I see it, it just feels incredibly silly. It's just like, they can't see me. It's like, yeah, du mich auch. 6 kills against 1, and the situation gets worse and worse and worse for Team Zaelia with every single team fight. Now they lost the top keep. We have currently 16,000 damage. It's top damage, by the way, I might add, on Zaelia, on Zarya with 16k. 19k for Li Ming. So, well, here we go. Deathwing is hiding in the bush again. And they're actually letting this one slide. They don't get level 13 in time, and they're just sitting there like, why would you risk it? It's actually kind of nice. You have so many damage dealers over there, like players that play that role, and all of them decided that they would just fall back and wait for level 13 and give the camp up and let the opponent claim it. That's exactly the way that they need to play this, but that they have the discipline to actually do that kind of surprises me a bit. Because you could see in a lot of these games already that they really, really like to go for the fight. Go for the damage! And there's the... Ah, nice! The stun actually prevents him from the flip. Speed barrier on Garrosh from Zarya is always fantastic, and in this case he barely made it out. But it's time for another Immortal. They are also moving topside to grab the next camp. But with the Immortal, there is a chance to do a little bit better here. Okay. Let's go. Over here, Immortal coming up in 10 seconds. As you can see, the camps are not up yet. 2 minutes 40 over on the left. And on the right, it's a minute. So theoretically, during the halftime show, you might actually see them rotate towards the Shaman camp. I don't really think so. I mean, they're the one who's going to try and pressure this. But with the 13 talent, there we go. Environment reaction is in. And Masquerade barely makes it out. Or does he? Here comes Deathwing, and the chicken is hungry apparently, pecking away against the cockroach. But they are able to make their way out. Have to tap at the fountain though, but the Immortal is already falling. Slowly but steadily. 18 stacks now for Vala. She's getting a little bit better on that. And let's see. Come on. 6 against 1. That's the kill count right now. Yep. And there's the hit. The flip. Ah, not quite. Good attempts here at stopping Garrosh when he makes his engage. They do really well around this. The problem is that they're still in trouble. There's level 13 at least, so that's even talents now. But the flip against Sven, he bunkers it up, but he's gonna die anyways. Yes, he's dead. He's dead, 100%. Sven is dead, and that's not the only problem that they have. Oh, maybe they can get the kill. Yes, nice. Good kill against Garrosh. Top lane. Top lane is a problem. Vala is down, and just look at this. That's 3 catapults. And that's just way too much. Catapults are coming in. Now Malfurion is dead. Li Ming is trying to run away, and the rest of the team is already following towards the left side. The shields are falling on the core, and that's just too much to handle. Catapults are homing in on this, and they're going to lose HP there as well if Anubarak and Li Ming don't come back just in time for it, maybe. And yeah, Deathwing chipping in too. 97% right now, and over here the Immortal is now taken by Team Nick. They are really setting their sights on a second map win here, which would secure them the #1 spot, the #1 seed in Group A of this in-house group. So right now, big boy Immortal with the big boy shield. Level 16 is nearly there for Team Nick. They have all the advantages now, and they're going to move through the bottom of the map in an attempt to finish this game. Taking keep #2 should be an inevitability, but they should also be able to do a little bit more here. Yeah, Wit again. Ah, the taunt! Doesn't connect. Nubarak was already on the way out, but here comes Deathwing. Once again, trying to pack away against the Nubarak. Masquerade is isolated in the back. Good setup with the stun against Wit, so he gets actually out. The problem is that Li Ming, oh, barely. Teleport. Thank God for the 13 talent, had enough range to make it out. The Immortal actually lost its shield already. That defense is a lot better than expected. They're doing really well with the defense, considering it was close, it was clutch. 2 of the heroes nearly falling, and I think this time the first one is actually gonna die. Zaelia is down. Here's Malfurion, got totally abused during this entire game. And here we go. The Immortal is gone, but the keep will fall regardless. 16 talents are in top lane. Big problem. Again, gets pushed against the core. There's a camp coming through. There's catapults coming in. At least to get the kill with Calamity against Garrosh. That's a big one. That actually might save the game for now. Just for the time being. But over here, 1 catapult is on the core and is going to do a little bit more damage. Deathwing is trying to go for Vala and gets her. Vala is down. Sven is dead. The core on 85%. The rest of the team moving in together with the catapults that get now escorted in by Deathwing. This is trouble. This is game. 33%. Zaelia is dead again. Died 5 times this game. And this is a 2-1 victory for Team Nick as they also secure the #1 spot in the group. GG, and great play here by the red team. The group is decided. Team Nick is victorious and is the team that dominates this. This match still kind of interesting right now, at least for Hazu. So actually, in this case, we're already in a setup where no matter if it's, I guess if it's a 3-2 victory for Zaelia, it's still important for them because they would get a little bit ahead compared to Hazu's team. But as it stands, they are gonna play all of this out right now. So we have Zul banned again. It's Tomb of the Spider Queen. That's our 4th map here. We have also Jimmy taken now. And at this point, the hammer is getting dropped again. Banned out once more. Poor Sergeant. Junkrat also. Ooh, that leaves Sonya open. Sonya is up. Okay, Sven can actually think about playing Sonya in this one. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, are we gonna get that or not? That's the big question now. And you can actually see them hesitating. I don't really think that they anticipated that there would be any map where Sonya is open. But do you really first pick that? I don't really think so. So instead, Rhaegar is taken. Zaelia picks it. Does Team Nick pick Sonya away? That would honestly add insult a little bit to injury, right? Finally, Sonya makes it through the draft, and all of a sudden, yeah, you're looking at the opponent picking it away from you. Probably tilt me a little bit there. But yeah. Team Nick. Again, they are number 1 already, so if we're at any point gonna see a little bit of a Mimi setup, it might be here. But at least the initial picks are still absolutely strong here. Johanna comes in and Li Ming. The interesting part is that we do right now not see Kerrigan ban. Kerrigan, played by Nick, is insane. This is kind of the map where he played it the most. I expect her to be picked as the third choice, to be banned as the third ban. But we have Nazeebo in. Alright, the Witch Doctor is in the house, ladies. Let's go. Yeah, in the upcoming patch, it's actually gonna be a little bit of a Nazeebo buff, because thanks to all the things that Blizzard is doing with the core, we can expect longer games, and longer games in general benefit heroes like Nazeebo. Suljin too, the question is, does Suljin really get to a point where he's gonna see enough play? But Nazeebo might actually make his way back into it. Yeah, there's a Tyrell ban. There has to be a Kerrigan ban. I would be shocked if Kerrigan doesn't get banned out here. You're playing against Nick. Sonya is at least in, so Sven gets his hero. That's something. But yeah, I don't know. Ana. Okay. Playing against... I don't want to play against a nano boost. I get that, but I think that Nick is currently looking at this and is saying like, boys, I don't know. Leo instead? I mean, come on, Nick. No balls. What's going on here? He can still pick her, but I would be a little bit upset now if we don't get a Kerrigan in this game. I've been waiting for my Nick Kerrigan, outside of like Storm League shenanigans, of course, in a setup like this for a while now, because the heroes get consistently banned against him when it comes to these games. So, I don't know. I want a little bit of Kerrigan action. If not that, I'll settle for a Tracer. I'll settle for a Tracer here. Maiev and Imperius get taken. Okay, come on, Nick, make it happen. Tracer, there it is. Alright, alright, alright. I'll take that, I'll take that. Tracer's fine with me. It's accepted. Barely. I'm letting it slide. Okay, 2 with Spider Queen, game number 4, so let's jump in and check out if Team Nick can actually finish what they started, or if Team Zaelia is fighting back on map number 4. Game on, everybody! The 4th map is in. Tomb of the Spider Queen, Enabler on Nazeebo. We got Rutzo on Maiev, Zaelia on Rhaegar, Sven on Sonya, and Masquerade on Imperius. And on the right side of the map, Team Nick with Kelvin on Malfurion. We have Wit on Johanna, Dequaza playing Leoric. Nick is on Tracer, and Shirionto is playing Li Ming in our 4th game. So yeah, the Witch Doctor is in the house and goes for a Toad build. Pandemic on level 1, so much easier to push, of course, with all of this. But yeah, let's see how much of damage output we're gonna get. I'm also excited for the Sonya pick, just simply because Sven can finally play the hero that was denied to him in most of the games that we've seen this far in the in-house tournament. And I have to admit, guys, the in-house tournament is tons of fun right now. I really like these games. It's kind of cool to just see these mixed teams play together. They scrim together. They make sure that they have, you know, the synergy through just a little bit of training. For a lot of the games we've actually just seen before the game goes live, both teams scrimming with other teams of the other group, for example, to just get a little bit of an edge here. And it is a little bit reminiscent of HGC. Just in the sense that you see these active scrims happening before the tournaments happen. The teams are having tons of fun with it. Don't get me wrong, we're never going to see Heroes of the Storm played on the same level anymore as it was in the days of HGC, which is obvious. I mean, it's obvious. Teams back then scrimmed 4 to 8 hours every single day, and you don't have that anymore. But it's kind of cool to see this small tournament that lasts roughly 10 days, where the players are taking it super serious, having some fun at the same time, playing with people that they would normally not play with for such a prolonged period of time. It's pretty awesome. It's really fun. So now that we have our first fight over the Siege Giant camp, we're gonna see how if Nick is able to already get some damage in. Oh, that's bad for the blue team. Oh, that's bad. Yeah, they're gonna lose 2 here. Yeah, that's both Imperius and Maiev eliminated. There was a full 5-man rotation down to the bottom of the map. Easy double kill. Siege Giants taken as well. And here comes the pain train. Choo-choo! As they're starting to make their way over to try and break through the wall. And Sven nearly gets eliminated on Sonia too. Went into the smashy smash style with a furious blow on level 1. And in the meantime, we have for level 4 actually. Charge blast taken for Li Ming now. Zeebo's gonna get quite a bit of stacks together. That's a good setup, I like that. Kelvin gets attacked, and yep, Team Zaelia is just not waiting for them to be taken down, but instead they are just saying, okay boys, we come back into this. Ooh, look at that. Level 4, Blood Ritual. Okay, so a little bit more sustain instead of just trying to get a bigger hit point pool and mana pool. Yeah, also more slam for... No bomb available. Yeah, more slam actually for Sonia, so the Shattered Ground is now coming in, going full in on the Seismic Slam here. Talking about Sonia, Sonia's just been eliminated at the bottom of the map, losing a few more gems, but didn't really have that many in the first place. But thanks to those 3 kills, the blue team lost a fair amount. Masquerade himself also needs to be careful, gets body blocked. Oh, the zombie wall. Yeah, that could have been maybe a trap against the red team then after all. Turnaround here would have been great for them. But they're getting closer and closer to their first turn-in. 36 gems have already been delivered. And they have the numbers to get the first Web Weaver wave into the game. A little bit of action down here. Tracer, of course, just zipping around. Still with the best support that she can possibly have to support her in this, Malfurion. And Kelvin is, of course, focusing very heavily on Nick here. And helping him out with that heal over time so that he can dive in deep and try to get these kills. Down here, Nick has to be careful. Okay, needs another regrowth and gets it immediately. And off we go. Right here, the tether, Kelvin! Oh, that's the kill against Maiev. And they look for more. In this case, it's actually Malfurion that finally falls, but he's not the only one. Imperius is dead too. Imperius is an interesting choice here anyways. You have him as a main tech now. And there is, of course, a pretty aggressive triple frontline that we see for Team Zaelia with Maiev, Imperius, and Sonia. So there's actually quite a bit to shield the backline. But their whole goal will be to bring Nazebo into the late game. If they can pull that off, then Nazebo with a Vial Infection can do a whole lot of work. And especially in that late game, he also has the power to just take structures and lanes down super easily. And that's something... That's actually a strategy that we've seen in the past a lot. Ragnaros was played in HGC a couple of times with Nazebo, because Ragnaros allows you with Molten Core to defend against push objectives quite easily and stall the game out. And that's a strategy that especially the French teams have followed for a couple of weeks, just in an attempt to cheese the opponent a little bit, use Ragnaros to delay, like they lost objectives, just gave them up in the early game, and they were delaying the games by using Ragnaros' Molten Core to defeat the objective, and it was pushing. It was, for example, the Punisher on Infernal Shrines, but even here on the map. And then you have Nazebo, who's just stacking, trying to get into the late game. And once he's there, Vial Infection can be a massive game changer. So that was kind of fun. And he's at 79 stacks already, so he's actually in a position where he has a lot, but they're losing ground, and that's what you would expect here. Top lane Ford is about to get eliminated, and it's kind of noteworthy to point out that this is still the first objective. This is Web Weaver wave number 1. And it netted them a fort right away and the wall in the middle, which is both pretty good. But at least Li Ming gets taken out. So that's that. Nick won some gems. Gets actually some of them back. Okay. The lunge missing. And he even connected the bomb. Good damage output from Tracer thus far. And playing around it even more. 20,000 is what we're seeing at this point. The tether was good, but Nick at no point really threatened. They try to go for the counter turn-in though, but the flashlight of Johanna is ready to go for the interrupt. So they have that. Bot lane, still Sonya against Leon. This is actually important because Sonya needs to go back to the fort to make sure that she gets the experience over here. Wit, playing around the tether, is able to move out, still gets the support in. Nick dancing around Imperius, running literally circles around him, and Masquerade is in trouble. Well, trouble equates in this case dead, and here's the level 10, and if you thought this is the only kill that you're going to see in this fight, then think again. Here goes another one. Nazeebo is down, and they're guarding the gems that he just dropped, and now they don't even have enough to go for another turn-in. Tracer is at least eliminated, so Sonya came in and gets a quick hit in. He should probably try and take this. Missing out on a few gems, but they recovered most of them. Yeah, slam, 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 nearly taking Malfurion down. But now Sonya has to be careful that she doesn't get taken apart. Alright, Ancestral. No Bloodlust in this game. 4 kills against 7 now. And there we go. Level 10 abilities. Ready for both. Ravenous Spirit is in. And what else? Enabler. Doing his thing over here. Still getting more stacks together. Has 105. It's all about the level 20 now. It doesn't mean that they have an auto win when they reach 20, but it's going to be a very different game for Team Nick if it ever comes to that point. So right now the question is more so, can Nick's team pressure them enough in the earlier stages to not even get them to 20, or that once the Vile Infection is ready, it's not becoming too big of a problem. Okay, nice attempt here. Nick comes out, gets the bomb connected, and bam! That's another kill against Nazeebo. Yeah, Tracer's dancing around them like she should. 4 kills against 8 now. It's all about the next turn-in. 2 more gems are missing for Team Zaelia to get the finally Web Weaver wave for themselves. But we have also 55 gems now in the hands of their opponent. Sven, oh my god, just spinning out of the Entomb, and the Blessed Shield missed as well. That's 2 heroic abilities that gave them 0 value. The cage is on the ground. Leo still trying to fight here. Ancestral is saving my F. And Sonya is still a bit low, but they should be able to keep everybody alive here. Turn in on the other hand, that's a different question. And it seems like the Quasar at least can turn in. And Kelvin also. That's actually 33 gems that they deliver. Whereas up at the top, Wit has his 12 and can't secure them. At least not just yet. But it's getting a little bit closer. Blue team just needs 2. If anybody turns in, there's that. Enabler eats the bomb again, but Leeming is down. Twilight Dream as they go for the counter. And with a nice condemn, Wit is trying to set them up. Dies for it, but at least they get the Rhaegar kill. The gems on the ground, but Masquerade is moving in to recover all of it. And now they run a 4 versus 3 on the map, which should give them an opportunity to finally get rid of these gems and get the first Web Weaver wave. They move in, and the blue Web Weavers are going to come down in just a second. Level 13 talents. Ready for both teams now. Also, in terms of damage, 29,000 for Sonya. Yeah, Sonya is slamming in this game. She is slamming that damage out. Tracer on 33k, Leo on 30,000. So Mr. Swing King is doing some solid work. Bot lane, the defense against the Web Weaver is already in full force. Yeah, they're starting to go in for that. Same time now, the mid lane is the main focus for the blue teams. So that's where they have to try and stop everybody so that the fort doesn't fall. But the problem is that the top Web Weavers are still doing work, and that could become problematic. 9 kills against 6. Zaelia and his boys are not giving up on this just yet. No, they're really fighting this out. So here we go. Attack comes in, and yeah, Shironto with the fire, trying to go for the flank here. Needs to be careful of the lunge and also the tether if my F gets too close. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, there's a Blessed Shield. They go for the setup after all. And Rutsu gets out. The Quasar trapped in by the zombie wall. That's gems lost. They lose one more. Oh. All of a sudden, ladies, it seems like Team Zaelia is starting to gain control of this. Ancestral, the slam and the triple kill. Damn. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the reasons why you actually do not want to give Sven his Sonya. Sonya is currently crushing. Got another kill, has 43,000 damage right now. Top damage dealer in the game, I might add. Up to the point where Nick is getting the next kill against Enabler. But still, very impressive. Okay, the lunge, no way. He's not going to get away, is he? Nah, mace to the face and he's down. But the problem is that Tracer has died too. 10 kills against 10 kills. We're only 11 minutes into this game, but we already have 20 kills on the board. That's actually pretty nuts. Yeah, and where's the stacks for Nazeebo? 152. Yeah, one city's on... The fail! They quasar with a double fail. Absolutely perfect. Yeah, we saw that, dude. We've seen that. Top-notch, top-tech play right here. Ah, glorious. Absolutely glorious. Oh, God. That was ingenious. Yeah. The best thing is that my F didn't blink. My F didn't even blink at that. She was sitting right there, and Rutsu was like, yeah, that guy has no idea what he's doing. So, yeah, Tracer is dead again, guys. I think we're going to look at game 5 here, if that pressure continues. But my F just stood there, like, yeah, he's got no idea what he's doing. I'm fine, I'm totally fine. I'm not canceling. I am not canceling. Okay, oh, the lunge again! And there's the double kill. Oh god, the Ancestral keeps my F alive. They are just crushing through them. Team Zaelia is going through the mid lane like hot butter through cheese. They're taking this down easy peasy. Nazebo is not gonna make it to 20. The game is gonna end before that. The Told build is gonna wreck this right now. And this is just brutal. 14 kills against 10. And well, we're heading into game number 5, ladies and gentlemen, as Team Nick gets taken out by Team Zaelia on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Game number 4. Alright guys, off we go. Right now we have Team Nick actually... sorry, game number 4 is already over. Game number 4 was a success for Team Zaelia. I'm kind of stuck in the last game apparently. I can't believe it still. I gotta admit that that Leo interrupt attempt against Maiev kind of threw me off balance a bit. It was a funny one, but now that we're heading into game number 5, we're going to see which team takes the victory. Now, I have to throw this out again. The group is decided. The second that Team Nick was able to lock in the second map win, the group was pretty much over. So right now, at least for Team Nick, for them it is pretty much a done deal. I mean, they are the number 1 slot, so that's just that, period. But right now, if Team Zaelia wins this, I actually think they are overtaking Team Hazu, because they have a better map score. Now, this is like cast and math on screen. I'm currently winning this a little bit, so I didn't really look at the group properly. But they should have 1 additional map victory if they win this over Team Hazu. Both of them, and I think map victories should be before the direct comparison. So, yeah. Pretty sure. But we'll actually see. Either way, there's not going to be anything crazy going to happen here. So we'll check this out. Ana gets picked first. And right now we have already Sonya banned out again. Shocker, I know. So, yeah. Let's have a bit of a look over here. Yeah, and Rhaegar plus Chromie. Actually, now that I'm thinking about the scores again, no, I'm sorry, I messed something up. Group is decided as well. Yeah, so because Hazen's boys, they won with a 3-1 against Team Zaelia, so if Zaelia wins against Nick with a 3-2, they have still better, worse map score. So yeah, sorry. Again, I don't have the groups in front of me, so I was just like thinking through it a little bit and messed one of the results up, so they would have a worse map score because of that. So the group has been decided ever since the second map got locked in. I think I talked about it already earlier, so pretty much this is fan service at this point. They want to play the series out, of course, too. But there's nothing big now on the line anymore. So we already know that Zelia's team is 3rd seed in the group, and seed 2 is Hazo. Seed 1 is Team Nick, as we're heading into the playoffs around the weekend. Zara gets played again, Blaze this time also for them, and we have Ana, so likely that we're gonna see Li Ming taken, unless of course she's gonna be banned out. Blip. Jimmy! Jimmy gets banned, okay. Yeah, Chromie is in as well, so a little sandwich is in play. There's the Garrosh ban. It's kind of interesting that they actually go for Blaze instead of Garrosh, and ban him out too. I could have still seen them pick Blaze on the top lane. I guess they figured that Garrosh would be played against them since Garrosh wasn't banned, but instead they banned our Jimmy. There's Zeratul. Alright, we're going wild with this one apparently. Okay. Let's have a look. Sven goes for Leo. Yeah, this is gonna be a bit of a wild game. Chromie only range damage apparently for them. And then Zeratul trying to come through. Okay. Alright. Yeah, well, let's have a little bit of a look over here. This is last two picks for Team Nick. I mean, I guess they still want to win this one, right? If you take the #1 spot in the group, you still want to kind of have this 2-0 in best of 5s. Here's Mal'Ganis and there's Li Ming. That doesn't come as a surprise considering that Ana is in. Mal'Ganis together with that on the front line. And Masquerade with the last one. So, we still need the front line for them. Come on. Come to Papa. Give me a tank. I mean, there are plenty of choices right here. Imperius again. Same play as last game. Imperius is in the main tank role. Leoric, played by Sven. And we're heading into game number 5. The conclusion of the best of 5 series in the Inhouse League. Okay, game number 5. The final map. We're going the full distance here today. Zaelia on Rhaegar. Sven on Leoric. Enabler on Zeratul. Chromie is currently played by Rutsu. And we have Masquerade on Imperius. To the right side of the map, Team Nick with Kelvin on Ana. Shirionto on Li Ming. Nick on Zarya. Dequaza is playing Blaze. And Wit is playing Mal'Ganis. Yeah, poor Mal'Ganis hasn't seen a whole lot of play in this particular tournament now, so finally he's making an appearance. And then let's have a bit of a look. Level 1 Shadowhunter is already in for Zeratul. In addition to that, we see the Sleep Dart build for Ana. And on the side of Zarya, the maximum charge right here. Alrighty. Off we go. With that, Masquerade gets attacked, gets stunned, and here we go. Yes, taken down. I mean, we've seen this already at the beginning of this, of the game number 4 actually, when they also played with Masquerade on Imperius in the main tank role, that he struggled at it. As the game continued, he became more and more dangerous to the opponent's team with great lunges in the team fights, scoring more than one player multiple times. Problem is that Chromie is about to go down. Yep. Little Sand Hitler has been eliminated. Down to the bottom of the map now, we see Dequaza starting to push the lane out pretty much without any resistance here. I mean, Leo will make the rotation, or so you would assume. Sven, on the other hand, is looking towards the Transformer right now. The support beacon is something that both teams want to have, which could lead to some experience lost at the bottom of the map. Everybody's jumping in over here. Wit is a bit low, but Kelvin gets the shots in, so gets the heals. Everybody is low on the blue team side, and they are losing Imperius again, and he's probably not going to be the only one. I mean, Zaelia is low. Li Ming wants the kill, doesn't get it. Sleep Dart, nope. Nope, 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 nope. Little doggy runs away and is able to move out. So, yeah, nicely done. I mean, top side, that's where Zeratul is currently pushing this out as well, trying to see what they can actually do with this. Everybody else is at the bottom of the map, stealing items away. Red team is very eager to ensure that they have all the items, and, well, that's the second turret that they're now going to get, thanks to Nick. So it's a fantastic start for the red team. They did not only get 3 kills, didn't suffer a single death on their side, but they also got all the items. So, I mean, it seriously doesn't get better than this. This is an insane lead for objective number 1. They have a level lead on top of it too. So unless the blue team is able to lock in a few kills now, protector number 1 is likely going to be grabbed by Team Nick. So that's what you can expect. Okay, so top side, that's where we currently have Enabler starting to push this out again. Zarya is making the super safe rotation, I wanted to say, towards the top, but she actually isn't. Instead, we're seeing her already on the camp. It's Mal'Ganis that is trying to catch the experience here, so he's underway right now. Down to the bottom of the map, Dequaza still rotating in, trying to get the experience for them here. They just need to be careful. Honestly, if you're on Team Nick, all you gotta do right now is just play it safe until the objective spawns. You already have done all the work up to this point, and you just need to reap what you saw here. And if you do that, then you will walk away with Protector number 1. You can prepare the top lane for the second one. There's a little bit of action against Li Ming though, and she's down, so yep, that's a bit of a setback. She didn't hold one of the items though, so that's at least something. Level 7 is now in 2, so another one of these moments where you want to be a little bit careful if you're Team Zaelia. You can push in a bit more aggressively since you have the numeric advantage, but the one thing you're still lacking is the level 7 talent, so you can't be too hyped about this. And yeah, Wit has been holding it for a long time here at the corner, 53% for them right now. But now that Li Ming is back and it's a 5 versus 5, you also have level 7 on both sides with Seeker in the dark as the next talent. So let's have a look over here. At this point, we have the opportunity for the red team to move in. Keep in mind, they have all the items still. Double turret plus healing beacon. It's pretty much all that you need here. Bottom of the map, they're trying to make the play for Dequaza, who simply jet propulsion onto the conveyor belt and is now able to set himself up with the rest of the team on the checkpoint. 57% against 53, and they haven't dropped any items yet. Especially when you play on a lower league, keep that in mind a bit. A lot of teams, when they are kind of new or the player's not all that experienced, they just drop the items immediately when the objective spawns. It's not really how you want to play this. You want to really save those for the end and then play them when the fight actually starts. There's the healing beacon already out. Now they can start with the turrets to secure that. Don't have to do it just yet. One is down. Second one, they still hold back. Trying to go for Chromie over here. There's a setup against Imperius, and he is down. Nicely done. That's a protector for them, and they still hold on to a turret. So Mal'Ganis is already in the driver's seat. Normally you see the teams take down the wall here with the initial abilities and then rotate topside to drop wall and fountain. Fountain in particular, but in an ideal world also the attempt to get the fort itself. Enabler goes down, was trying to actually get away but apparently didn't have the cooldown ready. And here it is, the important one. Take the fountain down, prepare for objective number 2. If you take the fountain, take the wall, ideally the fort, then it means as the second objective at the top side spawns, you will have over here still your own fountain and your fort that you can rely upon. And they actually got a fair amount of HP already down on that bad boy. Might even be able to get the entire thing if the minion wave pushes in, which is not the case right now. I think Blizzard could actually make this map a lot more interesting if they would randomize the spawn positions of the checkpoints, because right now it is a very scripted map. You know that the rotation is always from middle to top, from top to bottom, back to middle, and then the whole routine continues again. And that makes it oftentimes a little bit weird. Weird in the sense that it is very scripted, and unless there are some crazy fights happening, you know what's going on, you know how the teams are going to play and how they're going to prepare for that. And it could be easily fixed, honestly. If you just randomize some of those spawn points, it would not eliminate all of that, but it would at least make it a little bit more interesting on that end. Over here though, good fight, aggressive one with the invade. Yeah, ults are already out. There's the expulsion zone. They're trying to go for Wit already. Yeah, Chromie didn't get too much damage out here. The Entomb is in. Mal'Ganis still alive. And Chromie just isn't able to get the last hits in on anybody right now. Really good cleanse from Rhaegar. Zaelia with a perfect setup here. Gets the Ancestral now into play too. And Masquerade is lunging back. Nicely done. That was actually a really cool fight. There were a couple of super cool plays there. The cleanse in particular saved Imperius' ass. The Ancestral comes out, he's lunging over. Chromie on the other hand, she just doesn't get the number. Well, the numbers, yes, but she doesn't get the kills in. That's the problem. There's just too many tools that can be used on the other side too to negate some of that damage. And we're looking at 18,000 damage for her, 18,000 for Li Ming, so both of them on the same level now. And yeah, bottom of the map, that's where Leo is still pushing the lane out. Normally objective number 2, topside, spawns around level 13. When the first team hits level 13, that's usually when it spawns, roughly. Which means one team oftentimes has a slight lead, has an advantage, since the other team that lost Protector number 1 is scrambling to get experience for the extra talent, so they can fight on eye level with their opponent. But yeah, timeout is now in, so that's good for at least Chromie. But there is still the item question. And we have now 2 turrets in the hands of the red team. So there's that. And there's also the support camp that spawns again in another 40 seconds. The control point has also been announced, so there's actually 2 points on the map now that you can fight over. But let's go. 13 is in. Yeah, and just as the objective is about to spawn. So as already mentioned previously. Oh, sleep dart against Zeratul. That's a chance. And there's the kill. Yeah, B-steps are in. Kelvin with a bad boy B-step. After that sleep dart, he definitely deserves it. And that's, of course, a massive setback now for Team Zaelia. You can immediately tell that they're rotating away to their own camp. They are not going to fight over this one when it spawns. If it's taken, they're even giving up the top fort, more or less. At least a ton of hit points on it. It's just the problem that you have when you're losing one of your key heroes just before the fight that you are pretty much like trying for. And he dies. So, yeah, one hero gets eliminated. 13 versus 13 now. Zeratul is back, but of course still has a bit of travel time. They're trying to make the play for the healing beacon. And they're gonna get it as well. Yeah, healing beacon and experience now in their hands. Bit of sleep setup. Easy pickings. No problem right here. 3 turrets and a healing beacon. They hold 4 items in total. Or do they? Yeah, I think they do. Actually, no. Missing one. Sorry, 2 turrets. The third one hasn't been taken yet. It's actually the blue team that is trying to steal it away. Because they kind of have to. Everybody is already jumping in for it. And with everybody, I mean everybody. Mal'Ganis is the only one that isn't here. And he's already rotating. Here we go. The damage and the kill. Calamity, the reset. Leo is about to go down too. Sven walks away. But the problem is Imperius doesn't. Yeah, Sven walks away from it. Imperius goes down. 8 kills against 1. 15 against 14 any second. Big lead on the second checkpoint. And now they can simply go for it. How many items did they use? Well, they still have 1 turret on Mal'Ganis. And Ana has another one, so that's 2 turrets in their hands. The fort gets eliminated. And the only question that really poses itself right now is what do they do with objective number 2? Because in this case, since they are going to pick up the level 16 talent, you can actually make a different rotation. Instead of just simply going through the middle, trying to take the fort down, and then ending up homing in on the fountain at the bottom of the map, you can theoretically also attempt to go for the keep at the top side. The fort is already destroyed, you have a talent advantage, you have the second objective. That's definitely a play you can make. And the only question is, do they feel they have enough, they have what it takes to break through the key? Because if they fail, then that Punisher, that Protector, is pretty much wasted. But yeah, so here we go. They're starting to go through the middle. They're going to make the rotation towards the bot side. Trying to get this one first. Good damage. I mean, easy peasy, as you can already tell. This thing is just shredding. Yeah, 11 minutes in. Easy destruction. Still has 80%. And is now going to move down to the bottom of the map in the attempt to get at least the fountain. Oh. And they nearly got Sven too. Yeah, we're nearly able to take him down. Fountain is about to be destroyed. Might just be able to take the fort after all. It's actually one of those maps where lately the third objective does usually not end the game anymore. It's more so objective number 4 that does that. We'll see if that's still true over here. Yeah, Leo gets pushed out a little bit straight onto the conveyor belt. Yeah, he gets also eliminated as Li Ming comes in for the reset and gets the quick kill here. Good damage from them still. Okay, plays, and he gets out. Yeah, Chromie couldn't follow up there with the damage like she wanted. Now we have 32,000 damage for her, 39 for Li Ming. They're gonna go for that fort, and they're gonna get it too. So all the forts destroyed, and that means catapults are pushing on every single lane right now. Damn. I mean, every single one is really difficult for Zaelia's team to come back from this, especially since they keep losing heroes. Sven is barely making it out, but it's 9 kills against 1 in total. And they can just dominate these fights around the items. And if you have the item advantage on this map, you're just in a fantastic position. So, yeah, right now, I mean, again, look at it. It's 3 turrets already. They have 3 turrets. They could take the 4th at the bottom right. It's brutal. The only thing that Team Zaelia could do, in theory, is try and get isolation kills. Trap someone. I mean, you have Leo. If they get a good Entomb off, let's say against Mal'Ganis, for example, it's something that they might be able to pull off. We're just already sniffing this out, by the way. And the turret has now been taken. Everybody rotates in. And they can use these turrets for the fight, by the way. They don't have to save that shit for the objective. They can actually use it right here, 1 or 2 of them. Yeah, Kelvin though is low and Anna's down. Oh, Li Ming is dead too. Zeratul is also eliminated, but there's still turrets. There's actually triple turret now. Leo is dead as well. They're still fighting, but Blaze has fallen. The turrets are way too far behind. They need to be dropped over here more. Now we have Mal'Ganis eliminated, and that's 4 kills that they got in this fight. Make it a team wipe. 5-man team wipe, ladies and gentlemen. 6 kills against 11. Yeah, they got 2 counter kills, but the turrets spawned way too far in the back. I mean, what the hell are they going to do there? Fight is over here. Or can it at least be brought back over there at any point? So, it's a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel for Team Zaelia. They're trying to come back in this. And... I honestly, the turret positioning still triggers me a little bit. I mean, you can have 5 turrets. If you put them down outside of the team fight, they're not going to do anything for you. Of course, as they get dropped, the fight was there, but the actual attention of the fight was all around the healing beacon, and they were just not in range to get any shots off there. So that didn't do anything. Now we have the fort eliminated, so that's already good on the structural level for Team Zaelia. They're working through the middle now. They have started to catch up in experience, and as you can tell at the top, I mean, they're pretty much there. So the next objective, if it's going to come to a level 20 fight, it's likely going to be 20 versus 20. The big lead that we saw for Team Nick is more or less gone. 1 team wipe was all that was needed here. And let's have it. 55,000 on Li Ming and 50,000 on Chromie. Okay, so Nick now trying to do this thing. Trying to see if he can maybe isolate someone again with a good expulsion zone if he comes to that. Masquerade is coming through as well. And yep, there's the expulsion zone, but not this time. 1 turret on the ground, level 20 any moment now. And there we have them, the Storm Talons. Storm Talons up in play, Repulsion is in. And that's of course the big problem now for Team Zaelia. That's the reason why they wanted to force the fight before that, so that they can fight with even talents. Now they might have to give this one up without actually fighting. Okay. So, well, let's actually see. Well, he actually went for the Master Warp Blade over here as well. Okay. Here comes the attack against Leo. And Sven makes it out again. But they'll let this one slide. Zeratul is instead pushing the top lane right now. We look at the damage output. We have 51,000 for Li Ming right now. 60,000 for... sorry, 60,000 for Li Ming, 51,000 for Chromie. But outside of that, 38k and 32k for Zarya and Imperius. As those are the main damage dealers outside of those mages. 20 versus 20 now. Here comes the approach. Turret on each side and a healing beacon for Zaelia. Over here. Ulza already, with the exception of Mal'Ganis. He's the only one still waiting for it. Has gone into Alone in the Dark over here. Okay, and might be able to set this up. Yeah, gets stopped in his tracks though by the totem of Rhaegar. 57% now. They need to make the play onto this, and here we go already. Trying to set it up in the Night Core. Night Rush not really working. Gets still zoned out, and here comes the fight. Leo is down. Chromie couldn't get a counter kill. Tried for the temporal loop, but it was denied to her. Also with the ult there. Once again, they're moving in. Zeratul is on Li Ming. She gets the shield and is alive for now. 99%, and they have to fight for this as we speak. Wit is jumping in a little bit more. It's a 5 versus 4, but they're still looking low on 2 heroes. Shirionto tries to go for the kill, and Zeratul instead homes it in. Gets the attacks through. Nicely done. Mal'Ganis is down too, and here comes finally a counter kill. Zeratul is finally eliminated. Quasar wants to go for Chromie and gets her. Nick is still alive. Kelvin is alive. They're trying to save their asses, but that's a kill against Zarya, and now it's a 2 versus 2 with Leo spawning any second. There's the mace to the face. No! Yeah, goes in. Where is it? Sven! No! He's pulling a Quasar. But the Entombed is in, and that's all that he needs now. Yeah, 10 kills against 14. And the Protector is taken. Protector moves through the bottom of the map now. And oh boy. It's not going to end the game. Again, as I said, like lately, the third Protector doesn't really take the game anymore. Usually it's the fourth one that has more so of a shot. But Team Zaelia, they're crowning themselves to be the new comeback kings, apparently. Map number 4, we saw a similar situation. It's the thing about Sky Temple, by the way, for just a second. But they're moving in again. Can they get the keep? I mean, they should be able to, right? Keep at least. Sven is there. Problem, of course, is that the rest of the team is going to be alive soon. They won't be able to go for the core. Ring around the rosy play. Leo King goes out. That's the keep. And now they're ahead in structures. Yeah, just like that. Ahead in structures. Still a bit behind in kills and experience. But who cares if you have catapults spawning at the bottom of the map consistently. And now they can also start to maybe even go for the fort. Now they're gonna try and play it safe here. Because that protector is not gonna live much longer. And of course, the red team is trying to get a kill against either Rhaegar or Imperius. Which they're not gonna get, by the way. Full 5 men is here. 5 men is here. And Leo has his Buried Alive again. So there's that. Okay, so there's the attack. And let's go. Could see the team fight at the top again. Support camp should actually be ready and up for grabs. 70,000 and 72,000 damage now. Yeah, support camp is up. How many turrets do we have? Well, none. 0. Who's gonna get it? Expulsion zone again is gonna be the big one. Sven comes in. Do we get the Buried Alive? He goes in deep. Oh, that would be a great one. But there's no follow-up. He's zoned them out completely, but this is of course a death zone. If he gets the Buried Alive over here, then you are just getting wrecked if there's follow-up. Only one that hasn't died, by the way, is Zaelia. Zaelia is the only one that hasn't fallen in this game yet. Now the healing beacon goes over to the blue team. They get that turret as well. Rhaegar's already working on the camp. So they're actually looking pretty okay here. And the next objective is spawning in the mid lane. Where we still have... I mean, you can't really call that a fort anymore. The thing has been pretty much destroyed. I don't think it's going to stand when the objective spawns. But even if it does, doesn't matter, since there is actually no fountain. Which is the more important part. But off we go. Oh, shots were missing. Okay. Let's go. Come on, come on. Who makes the play? Who makes the setup work? No Buried Alive. No setup from Wit yet either. They're all looking for it though. Masquerade is diving around, looking for an opportunity. So does the rest of the team. Everybody, they're not waiting for the objective. Everybody is just looking for a chance to maybe get the initial CC that someone can follow up on with damage. Especially, of course, the two mages are just like sitting there. It's like, guys, just do it. Come on. Let's set up real quickly. There it is. Buried Alive. They already have it. Buried Alive is in. Wit is low. Bunk on the ground. And Mal'Ganis is toast. Mal'Ganis eliminated. They're trying to follow up with the second kill. Nano boost on Zarya again. And they are starting to rush away, but Quasar's about to fall. They barely save him. Oh my god, is he actually going to get out of this? Haha, yes, no! Chromie comes in with a kill just as Leo dies too. What a clutch one once again. Fort is about to go down. Oh my god, what a game again, seriously. 12 kills to 15, 3 against 4 on the map. What an insane setup once more. And the objective, yeah, objective hasn't even been announced yet. They are trying to go for the top keep and put some damage onto it even before the objective is up. Holy shit. What a series, seriously. I mean, again, the group is decided, but still, this series is just bananas at this point. Yep, here we go. Top side gets attacked, catapults are there. 10 seconds for the objective. And they're gonna let this one slide. This half the HP is gone. Half the HP is gone. They have a bit of an advantage over here now. But boy, what a game. Yeah, what a game now. Yeah, they're starting to make the way or the play for the camp again. As they should. Blaze is coming in. One turret is taken. They have 2 turrets now. 2 turrets against 1. So they have actually an item advantage. Team Nick has an item advantage heading into this next fight. But let's not beat around the bush here. If they don't win the next fight, the game's over. They have to win this one now. This objective is likely gonna end the game no matter what. Healing Beacon gets attacked instead up at the top. That's a good move right here. So they're gonna grab this one. rotation towards it is a little bit too late to really make something happen there. Can't force the fight over it, so instead they have to take the position down here. Try and make their play instead. And yes, off we go. That's the big one. This is the really big one right here. 93,000, 94,000. Everybody's already looking tight. Okay, down here, Zeratul. Oh, the kill! Zeratul is down. Zeratul dead. The item is there, and let's go. Expulsion zone as they're looking for the next kill. Zeratul got absolutely murdered. They found him early, took him down, but the fight isn't over. Chromie is poking from the back. Again, is actually low. Masquerade on the other hand, he's the one looking for the next stun. 87%. Leo is dead too. That might just be it. Leo down, Zeratul down. They only have 3 heroes back on the map. Protector is in, and off we go. They're going to try and make the play right here. 4 game, 24 minutes in. The Protector is definitely hurting. Down to the bottom of the map. Triple catapult going towards the core. 24 minutes in. That could be a problem if, but only if, Team Zaelia can stall for long enough. And I don't think they can. I don't think they can stall that long. The attack is there. Zeratul doesn't have a Void Prison that he could drop on the core to slow the attack down like in the good old days. Keep is gone, and here we go. This has to be the 3-2. This simply has to be it. They are going for it, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is game. The series decided in favor of Team Nick as they lock in a 3-2 victory against Team Zaelia. GG, and well played.